Well, hey, good evening. How is everybody? Good to see you. Hope you're all doing all right. I am doing just fine, fine and dandy. I, of course, am Bill Sylvie, your happy, hairy, humble host. When this is the live stream, this is the live stream before the live stream. So if you come here looking for some AD&D fun, that's going to happen at 8:30. Don't panic. We're going to play. You're like, where's the AD&D? It's coming. It's coming. But anyway, how are you guys this Tuesday night? I'm doing okay-ish. A lot of weird ups and downs today. Just enjoying a cold snack there. Greetings, Dungeon Minister Jack Photon. Good to see you. Jack, I had one of my first, one of your first customers reach out to me today. I gave him your contact info, so hopefully you guys will be able to get that. I don't know how many copies you got left. That's one for him, another one for me, which is actually for a friend. I'm not hoarding them. So that may just be one left. Folks, if you liked the Star Trek books you saw in Mail Call on Friday, there's one left. One left. Dungeon Minister says, my eldest boy wants to play a game on the terrain in your opener. Well, hello, Doomsword. But anyway, did some running about today, just kind of taking care of things, and that was the that was the weird and annoying part, because let's say I went to 2 different stores before I could find one of those 3-fold presentation things. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you do a science project and my youngest has a science project to do. She's supposed to do like a tri-fold dealy bob, and it's tough to find those, apparently. I went to the supermarket, which has a school supplies aisle, where I had bought those things before, but not now. I went to Target. Target has everything, but not those. Finally, went to the office supply store next to Target. Now, as you guys know, I've been 3D printing a lot of Cold War vehicles. Over in the Twilight 2000 Facebook forum, discussion of the movie Stripes came up. And every time it comes up, somebody's like, hey, what if the EM50 from Stripes was real? How would we stat it up for Twilight 2000? And I've been showing those guys the 3D prints that I've been doing lately, the 1/100 scale 3D prints. And I said, you know what? I just wonder, floating around out there on the internet is an STL file, stereolithography file, for the EM50. And wouldn't you know it, there is. So I set the printer up and set it to do its thing, as it were, and went out and did my running around and didn't find anything. It used to be, let me just interject something. One of the things I was looking for was LED strip lighting for the studio. It used to be everybody was carrying LED strip lighting. Is that just not a thing anymore? Because again, Target had some that was like multi-function, programmable, all-weather from GE, and it was like $40 for 6 meters of it or something like that, which is 18 feet. I'm like, I think 6 meters for like $5 a couple of years ago. My youngest room, the lighting is LED strips. Like, it goes all the way around a room. I got it on Amazon. It was really cheap. Yeah, pandemic, etc. But anyway, so I couldn't find any LED strip lighting anywhere. So I come home, and the 3D printer is finished printing the EM50. Well, it hadn't finished printing the EM50. It had done all the printing of the EM50 it could. I ran out of filament. Spool was bare. Most of the tube was completely empty. The tube, by the way, so if you don't know 3D printers, there's X, Y, and Z axis movement. It moves back and forth, front to back, and up and down. The what that moves up and down is the print head, just like on your printer, that moves back and forth and top to bottom. In this particular case, the tube to which I refer is what is called a Bowden tube. I don't know why it's called a Bowden tube. I don't know if it refers to Bobby Bowden, the famous football coach, or what. But from your feed source, your spool, it is a hard plastic tube. Well, not rigid, but hard plastic tube, slightly bigger than the diameter of your filament. And you push the filament into the feeder, and then it pushes it through the tube and pushes it down to the print head. Well, when it gets past the feeder rollers, only the feeder rollers pushing more filament through push the filament through the tube. So once it runs out on the back side and it gets past the rollers, it stops. The robot doesn't know or care. It'll just keep sitting there trying to draw and print all it can. So I come home and like the top 4 millimeters of the EM50 are not printed. Probably not even that much. It made me think of that ruined print that I got of the BTR the other day. That would have been more than enough. I would have had plenty to print the EM50. Oh well. So I'm looking through. I got no filament to start another one. Except, aha, I do. I have ABS filament. Now, if you're wondering what ABS is, ABS plastic is, there's a bunch of Legos. Legos are made out of ABS plastic. It requires higher temperatures to print and to stay stuck to the print bed. So I set about, I adjusted, I started printing another EM50. It didn't work. It came unstuck and just slid all over, just a scab of filament just sliding back and forth across the print bed. So I got to figure out, it was a frustrating and dumb kind of day in a few respects. But, well, I don't know if I really want to discuss that. I don't want to toot my own horn too much. But one thing I will tell you, I'll tell you some good news. We did pick up another couple of viewers. So we're back at 971. Guys, we're getting closer to that virtual convention. 971 subs on the channel. It could be 973, but a couple people decided to dip out. So 971 subs is what's on the channel. All right. We're 29 subs away from 1,000. If you're one of those two people and you just came by and you're wondering, why is he talking about his subscribers? That's small. That's small. That's SM all small. Why do we care? Why does he care so much? But the reason I'm bringing that up, new viewers, passersby, not just a passerby. Just a passerby is a regular around here. He's not just a passerby. He's a regular. Folks who are lowercase j, just passing by. When we hit 1,000 subs, we're going to celebrate reaching the 1,000 sub spot. As I said many moons ago, when my lights went out. That's the other thing I couldn't find. I went to Target, went to the photography department. No batteries and no dummies. So I'm buying all that on Amazon after the show tonight. When we reach 1,000 subs, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. Or is it the Great Online Anyway, the GWOC. The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, at which I will run original D&D, AD&D, Twilight 2000, Call of Cthulhu, Tales from the Loop. I'll run some Hero Quest. I'll run some Space Hulk demos. I'll run some dungeon demos. So we're going to have an absolute blast. So if you're just coming by and you're like, what even is this? And why is he talking about this? That's why. So stick around, stay subscribed to the channel, and take part in a great online happening. And look, it's not just me. It's not just like, okay, everybody that wants to play OD&D, start Saturday the such and such, and we play till lunchtime, and then 5-minute break, and then I'll run AD. Oh, no. No, this is a proper con. Because Kyle is going to run games plural. Paul Stormberg is going to run games. And I get at least 2 or 3 other people that want to run games. This is a con. This is happening. This is a convention. This is a gaming convention that's going to happen when we reach 1,000 subs. Circle game, you just lost. 1,000 subs on the channel. Guys, we can make this happen. Everybody that's subscribed, if you have friends, if you have family who like pop culture, role-playing games, rants and bants, tell them to click the subscribe button and click the bell icon. I promise I've got something for them. It's worth their time. It's worth your time. Luther Calhoun says, get drunk and talk about the definition of life. Sounds like a fine Saturday evening to me. Jack Photon. Well, how appropriate. A few years ago, I used to sell LED strips for hobbyists. eBay's your best bet. That's where I used to source mine when it's close to $2 a foot on a 16-foot spool. These days, you can get to 50 cents a foot. Sounds good to me. I just want the stuff, the 3M stuff. I use some for lighting my miniature shelves over on the far side of the studio. And the connector has completely given up the ghost. So my strip is now washed out pea-colored yellow instead of the bright white that I want it to be. So, you know, I don't know what to do to fix it. Considering that entire box, I think it was like $5 plus tax at Big Lots, which doesn't have them anymore, by the way. That used to just be like a stupid amount of their electronics department was various lengths and types of LED strips. Well, not no more. So yeah, now I gotta get a new strip, which is fine. That's just fine. It's disposable. I don't mind. But that I couldn't find any today was just kind of annoying. Heyo. If you want single color, try searching for red strip 3926 605 meters. I will do that. I will check it out. Greetings, Imperial Ramblings. Hello, hello, hello. So good things are happening. Good things are happening, and I'm very happy to see we bumped back up, just eased up just a little bit. Just a few more folks joining us. On the YouTube channel. That makes me happy. Happy for you guys, because the more we get, the closer we get to the convention until we hit the tipping point. That makes me happy. The prospect of doing the con is what's driving me on this. But anyway. So later tonight, of course, we will be playing first edition AD&D. So for those of you folks who came here to see some first edition AD&D live stream, just relax. I gotcha. It's going to happen. Calm down. Sit back down. All right, be cool. Other stuff that's going on. Imperial Ramblers had to buy a new TV, has native Android screen share built in. Bill literally in my living room right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. and Mrs. America, let me come into your television, into your living room right now. My R2 unit had a bad motivator. Yeah, that's about the size of it. My R2 unit had a bad motivator. What else was I going to discuss? There was something of import. I know. Oh, right. I remember now. Scheduling screw up on my part. I'd been telling you guys that Tracy would be here on Thursday. And Servant of Shiloh would be here on Wednesday. That's RPG Elite's channel. Excuse me. That is the person who runs the RPG Elite channel. That is not the case. I had done messed up. Tracy will be here tomorrow. Servant of Shiloh of RPG Elite will be here on Thursday. That is confirmed. I did it again. I just did it again, didn't I? Anyway. But that's confirmed. So flip those around. Shiloh on the 10th, Tracy on the 9th. That's what we're doing. So Tracy will be here tomorrow. And somebody had asked me who Tracy was last night. Tracy is a TSR veteran. He is a founding member. He is one of the original. Like you gotta think of old TSR as like not like Crosby, Stills, and Nash. You gotta think of them like Chicago, right? Like a huge ensemble. Well, Tracy's one of the original lineup. Hello, Damien. Good to see you. So he'll be here. He's going to show off some old art, some new art. And he'll answer your questions, and it's going to be an awesome time. It's going to be an awesome time, and we are all looking forward to that. So Thursday, the 10th, Servant of Shiloh. Wednesday, the 9th, Tracy Lash. And then we shall proceed apace. But I am looking, let's see. Nope. I just had to check the comments over on Facebook. I thought I saw somebody comment. It was not. It was just a pop-up from Facebook. So, as I said, you're going to get your AD&D live stream tonight. Don't worry about that. Last night, we played some AD&D. You guys want to hear how that went? Yes, you do. So then, let's take a look. At how last night went. Oh, and I want to take a moment here. I want to take a moment before I start in on this, because this is damn important. One of the players in last night's game, I'm not going to say his name because honestly, I don't like. I'm not worried about you guys. I don't want a bunch of people like just drive-bys on the internet nattering me to like, oh, is that still that? Can I get in on that? I've been a big fan of your show. And like literally it's just like the 2 minute stretch when they happen to catch this. So if he decides that it's okay for me to mention his name, then I will. But until such time, I'm not bringing it up. But it is one of the players in the Monday night game. He shares up a photo. He shares up a photo of this massive collection of new in box Grenadier Dragon of the Month dragons that they were doing literally just around the time that they were finishing up their association with TSR. Some of them still say for use with Advanced Dungeons and Dragons on the box, even though they had pretty much parted ways with TSR. And says, and I mean, there's like 16 of these things. And I know you're thinking, well, it's of the month. Wouldn't it be 12? But there's more than that. Or maybe it was just of the month. It may have been Dragon of the Month, but he had just some dragon sets from other things. And he says, and you know, we're all oohing and ahhing over it because you'll see one or two in the wild, but Mark's got the whole run. And he says, and I just screwed up. Anyway, he says, if you want one of these, shoot me your email address, but you got to paint them. If you want, guys, you don't just now look. I know Mirliton sells these, but still with shipping, they're like $70. Finding an original Grenadier one online, new in box, that's like needle in a haystack, and then you're going to pay through the nose for it. So he's just like, yeah, just you have to paint it. And what do I see down in the lower right hand of this set but the Spirit Dragon, Tiamat? Dude has a new in box Grenadier Tiamat mini. So I asked for it. I'm just blown away by that kind of generosity. I just flabbergasted. How amazing is that? How wonderful is that? Now, other people jumped in. He didn't just like offer them to me. They were offered to everyone in the stream. And I know a couple of other people asked. So what an amazing thing. Well, when I get it and get it painted up, I'm going to share it with you guys. You guys are going to see it. So just, you know, I'll mail call that one. We'll do a mail call on that. Because that is a price. That is a prize. No, that's a price. That is a prize that is just I can't even with that. It's just amazing. So thank you to him. That's just too awesome for words. And you know, hello Mobius. Luther says shouldn't have gone to Target, go to Tashi Station. Yeah, well. So that was just the awesomeness of last night. And that was even before we started the game, guys. That was even before we started the game. Sorry, I'm just responding to a message here. Just getting a couple out there. All right. So now that I've talked about the cool thing that happened last night, let's talk about more cool things. And let me bring you guys up to speed. Adventures in Greyhawk. Taking stock after returning to camp and telling Calcifer of their adventures against the vampirus, Bran considered the first answer given by his commune spell. It was clear that the book was the Demonomicon of Igwilv, but now what to do with that information? After a series of questions, both pertaining to the book and to the condition of the party, it was determined that Caerleon had been charmed by the vampirus. However, she submitted to a dispel magic from Bran Grayson. Rabindranath the Bard examined the ceaselessly glowing lanthorn they had found and exclaimed that they had recovered a valuable artifact, for this was none other than Daoud's wondrous lanthorn, a storied magic item from the far reaches of history. Lying beneath the lantern could cause one to not hunger. It would heal any hurt, drive out any disease, and potentially more beneficial effects could be discovered through experimentation and research. Of the Demonomicon, however, they were not so certain. There was no doubt that Igwilv had penned the work, while Jane, when she dwelt in the abyss, had never heard much discussion. What she had heard, legends and conjecture, piqued her interest even then, centuries prior. A human who had the ability to cause dolor or bring a demon otherwise to heal was noteworthy even for immortal and ineffably evil beings. A debate began based on the results of Bran's commune spell. The book might help Jane on her path to becoming human. It would not redeem her, and she was adamant that her salvation was her own. It could contain secrets of binding and controlling demons. Jane related that Igwilv's proclivities included congress with demons periodically. Petra expressed concern that not only was Drelsna a vampire, but a byblow of one of these engagements. Jane demurred, thinking that she would have brought powers to bear in her hour of need if she had been. The question remained, though. Should the Demonomicon be destroyed, rendered inert, hidden away forever? Venerin was staunchly against its disposal, as was Calcifer. Bronn only half-jokingly suggested giving it to Cain to keep close. He's a thief. He knows he'll lose his hands if he fucks about with it. Although meant glibly, the party recognized the wisdom behind this, and the thief accepted the duty of guarding the volume, although safely stored in a bag of holding. Discussion turned to whether or not it was safe to leave the vampirus behind. Bran's commune spell revealed that Drelsna still likely remained within the caverns, and so was still a danger. Despite the plundering of her lair, she was still abroad and likely thirsty for revenge, as well as the life's blood of any who fell under her ill power. So it was decided to return to the caverns, find the cursed maiden, and extirpate her. The lone question remaining was what to do with the great troll that had been charmed by Venerin. It was a hateful, unnatural companion, loyal, as much as it was possible to be, to the magic user. And should it break from its mental bondage, it could turn on the party at an inopportune moment, sending the creature to stand some distance from Daeron's instant fortress. Venerin loosed a fireball spell at the brute, burning it badly but not slaying it outright. It turned and began to climb the tower, the power of the magic user now removed from its mind, and it made ready to attack the party and exact its revenge on them. As it climbed up, flasks of oil were hurled down at it, all missed. It reached the battlements and immediately set on the author of its predicament. It slashed and bit Venerin, tearing off flesh and gobbling it horribly. All in the group struck true, including a flask of oil thrown onto its already seared and blistered skin. The troll reared back to retaliate, but fell to the party's weapons. Oil was quickly poured over the creature and set alight, and it was burned to ashes before it could mend and rise up to do more hurt. Curing spells were laid on the magic user, and that unpleasantness finished, the party set out to find the vampirus. The paths through the caves were as quiet as before, and soon the group found themselves at the doors to the inner spherical chamber. Opening the outer valves, they found that once again the painting on the wall had changed. No more was the beautiful form and serene face of Drelzen shown, but instead a tableau showing all of the adventurers murdered in horrible fashion, including Brand Grayson slain by an again demonic Jane. Clearly, the power of this area was great that it could so adjust and pervert the artwork according to the dark girl's anger. Opening the inner door, they found themselves cast through the caves as before into a square chamber. This was one they had marked and knew the path from. They returned to the entryways and tried a new door. This one sent them to a seemingly new cave. Kane utilized his wand of enemy detection and found a nearby foe. Could this be Drelsna waiting in ambush? Brand cast locate object to try and bring focus to Drelsna's sword. He had been stabbed with it repeatedly and was intimately familiar with that awful weapon. However, it was not detected near to hand. Still, the party continued onwards, entering a cave of medium size. Lurking in the rear near a glimmering pile of treasure sat a brownish black dragon of some type, hissing angrily at the intruders. Caerleon, Logan, Grindel, Petra, and Jane charged forward. When they drove into the beast, Caerleon suddenly felt a wave of power wash over her. For a brief, terrifying moment, it was as if she was becoming as rigid as stone. The dragon bore the visage of a terrible basilisk. The doughty fighters drove their blows home, doing great damage to the beast, but it stood fast. Etho cast magic missile. Rabindranath began a litany of hate against the creature, while Jaden enveloped it in a fairy fire spell to bring home blows truly to it. Alindra fired her bow repeatedly, striking every time. In the next moment, the dragon vomited a gout of acid all over Logan, burning him with chemical pain. Before it could turn its malevolent gaze upon anyone else, though, Alindra's next sheaf of arrows and the rain of hammering sword, spell, and spear dispatched the creature. Although not the vampire of Igwilv, a dangerous foe had been dispatched, and its treasures were now weregild for Logan's hurt. And that is where we left off. So, Luther Calhoun, hey Bill, I cannot reclaim. Well, I hope that was an appropriately exciting recap of the ongoings in the Lost Cavern. You have to sometimes I trip over my own tongue. I get to telling the tale and just stumble. Verbal lubricant there isn't quite as potent as I had hoped. Mobius says, I'm melting. Luther says, patient is about to flatline. 5E poisoning. First ed D&D IV drip. Stat. Well, that's what I'm here for. That's why I bring it. So what do you guys think? What do you think of the adventure so far? It's been a lot of fun. I don't know what's in the players' hearts and minds, so I don't know what they're going to do as far as further adventure. I mean, there's a lot of treasure in the Dracolisk's lair, and yes, that's what it was, a Dracolisk. Half black dragon, half basilisk. You get within 20 feet of it, it can turn you to stone, and it can breathe acid, and it's got the claw bite attacks. So it had a fairly big pile of treasure. I don't really want to catalog it here in case some of my players are listening. You know, I gotta be cool now. You know, I don't want to give away too much, but the it was a pretty prodigious haul. And I was having fun today. I've got the Dungeon Master's Assistant Volume 2 Characters and Treasures, and I can just go in there and it's like, oh, okay, well, the treasure says there's this many gems and there's this many pieces of jewelry. And just bloop it in. And it spits it back out. One of the problems with that is the Dungeon Master's Assistant, you just say how many gems, verbose or brief in detail. And it'll spit out like 17 gems. Here's what they are. Here's the value of each of them. In the case of these gems, and this happens a lot in many of Gygax's modules, he will say, and other authors, 10 gems, a base 50 value each. 100 gems, a but base 1 GP value each. Now, with 100 gems, there is a chance, increasingly slim, but there's a chance one of those gems could actually be worth thousands and thousands and thousands of gold. I think potentially, I've never seen it. I have never ever seen a gem explode in value, but potentially you could wind up with a gem worth 4 million gold pieces in a horde. So I had to crack open my Dungeon Master's Guide because there were, was it 7 gems? I think it was 7 gems, but each had a base of 100 gold pieces. So I had to go through. Now, 2 of them changed value. One dropped to the previous level, and then you keep on dicing to see if it gets worse and worse, or if it increases. And the other one jumped up to the next level from 100 to 500. All the rest of them stayed at their base, 100 gold pieces. So with the 2 that changed, one of the options you can roll in the Dungeon Master's Guide is that the gems value doubles. Do not roll again. Just stop. Well, that was the one that halved in value. It then went back up. So it went back to 100, no more rolls. The other one went to the next value level, but on the next roll, it stayed the same. The jewelry was a little bit more interesting, not hugely interesting. This is something that I think is oft overlooked by dungeon masters seeking to fill up a treasure hoard. And that is that jewelry, if you're dicing for jewelry, you have a percentage chance, and you get like, I think the lowest end jewelry is worth from, what is it, 100 to 600 or something like that. But basically you roll on the D6 and multiply the result times, by 100. Or by 10 or whatever it is. Well, with every piece of jewelry, you roll an 8-sided die, or no, you roll a 10-sided die. And on a 1, it goes up to the next value table. And then you check again. But before you check again, you check to see if it's worth the maximum possible value due to its craftsmanship. Or is it an additional? No, it's an additional 5,000. So let's say you start with something that is worth 1,000 to 6,000 gold pieces, and you roll it up. Okay, it's worth 4,000 gold pieces. Roll a D8 or roll a D10. On a 1, it goes to the next bracket, but you also roll a D8 when you get that to see if you add 5,000 gold onto the value in addition to anything else that changes. So you can have jewelry that gets exploding dice rolls where, again, I think the highest that you go before you stop, if you start getting these exploding die rolls, is either 650,000 or 850,000 gold pieces. But you can potentially have just a common piece of jewelry that's worth hundreds of thousands of gold pieces just lying in your dungeon. That is one of those things that Kyle and I talk about with the dice telling a story that neither the players nor the game master expected. Why does a kobold have a platinum tiara that's worth 79,000 gold pieces? And what are a bunch of first level palookas going to do about it? Well, clearly they're all going to level up and they're all going to go to the next level. But when word starts getting or up to the just below the next level, I should say. But when word starts getting out, that could create some real interesting opportunities. They will definitely be living in interesting times at that point. So it's just some food for thought. Just a little something, just some notes from the underground. So let's see. A basilich. Oh my God. I raise you one Demi Draco Lich, a Lisk, because he likes an Umber Demi. Oh my God. Jack Photon says, I think Bill's players are going to suffer from these ideas. Well, you know, I thought the Draco Lisk was going to be a real terrifying challenge for the party. It was not. It was not. I should have put 2 in the dungeon. I really and truly should have put 2 of them in the dungeon. It was a cakewalk. They just dogpiled. Just blow after blow after blow after blow. I really think, and my players are listening, and this gets their dander up, and they're upset about it. I'm sorry, but I really, honestly, and truly think that the players had a really easy time of S4 so far. There have been some challenges, but by and large, it hasn't been that tough of a module. So my advice is, if you're running S4 for a high-level party, crank up the difficulty a little bit. Don't be afraid to. Read the module carefully. Look at the challenges. Don't be afraid to put 2 Draco Lisks in there. And for goodness sake, set the hit points to maximum depending on the party. Don't do that like I did with the Draco. I forgot about this and I wasn't going to change it at the last minute. That's just mean. I should have set the Draco Lisk to maximum possible hit points. But I didn't. So shame on me. I got nobody to blame but myself. So they got some loot. And we're going to see how things... see how things unfold from there. Will they keep hunting Drelsna? Well, time will tell. They seem pretty set on the notion. And of course, you guys will hear about it as it happens. Umber Draco in the wings and a mage to boot. So you guys are accusing me of being mean. I cannot imagine an Umber Draco Lich. An Umber Draco Lisk Lich. That's just mean. That's cruel. A mage to boot. Of course, you're Canadian, so wouldn't that be a mage to bout? Oh, it cracked me up. So if going forward with Servant of Shiloh being here on Thursday, if you guys have any questions that you want to ask him, and you're not going to be able to make it at 7:30 Thursday evening, please ping me on the Discord and ask me to ask him those questions. We like our guests to feel engaged. I want to just kind of sit there, looking awkwardly at each other. So, you like role-playing games? Mobius says they hope the party stakes that bitch. Well, maybe they'll get driven. Maybe she's just misunderstood. Did you ever think of that? No, because you only ever think of yourself. Maybe Drelsna is just like Jane, and she's just a tragic figure, and she can be redeemed. That's not the case. Don't worry about that. Maybe she'll become a long-running villain to fight against them. All hail the Dungeon Delver. All hail Rich Denver of Bards of Greyhawk, that awesome rock band. Let me tell you what. There's plenty of bands that are fantasy themed. All right. And they say, we play fantasy music that you can use in your role-playing games. You can play them on your streams. You can play them in your role-playing games sessions. And I've seen a few bands that have nicked role-playing game things for song titles. Let me tell you about Bards of Greyhawk here, in case you weren't aware. First of all, they do the absolutely amazing music at the beginning of the show. Summer Mountains, which is not just a good piece, okay? They made that for yours truly. I don't like claim rights to it or anything. They can put it on an album and play the heck out of it. But they composed that track to spec for me. Listening to a beautiful piece of music like that and thinking, wow, they did that for me, it's just mind-boggling. And that just floors me every time I listen to the track. And I do listen to it quite a bit. But the Bards of Greyhawk make music based on classic first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons modules. Nobody else does that. How cool is that? Nobody else does that. That is like the coolest thing in the world, or perhaps the dorkiest. I think it's the coolest, but you know what? It can be both. It can be both. And I love it. I absolutely love it. Jack Photon says, and a Solar with a helm of opposite alignment waiting to clean it all up. Yeah. So my buddies over at Bards of Greyhawk, Rich Denver, Jeremy over there. Damien says, has there ever been a magical weapon or armor from a video game that you were inspired to stat up into one of your games? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Many such items. Spells, that sort of thing. When I was younger, I had Glandring, Orcrist, and Sting and Narsil show up in homebrew adventures. Gosh, what else? I had a gold key of opening that came from Adventure, from the Atari 2600 game Adventure. And it would open castle gates. If you brought it to Castle Gate, it would cause it to open. Handy item, that. Gosh, too many to really think of off the top of my head. The Black Arrow, an arrow of of huge ancient red dragon slaying. Again, Tolkien. I mean, the guys at TSR did most of the heavy lifting for me on statting up Arrows of Slaying, but also, Stormbringer, Mournblade, gosh, the list just goes on and on. Is there anything recently? I can't think of anything. I kind of played with the idea of some stuff from the Elder Scrolls game, including the actual Elder Scrolls, which may or may not exist in my campaigns currently, but I don't want to give away too much about that. Dungeon Minister says, I used some of Fred Saberhagen's swords back in the day. Well, Fred Saberhagen's stuff is just awesome, period. And if you guys can boost that, then it is all the better. It is all the better. I ask because I wonder how the Moonlight Greatsword from nearly all the From Software games work. I don't know that one. You can ping me on the Discord about it. We're coming up against game start time. We're actually just a few minutes away, and I want to give it some of the proper attention that it deserves. So I don't know what the Moonlight Greatsword is or what it does. So, mention it on the Discord, and I mean, it's fairly easy to do as long as you don't go too Sue with stuff. I mean, I'm a big cross genre guy too. I'll use stuff that already exists in AD&D to justify the existence of other things. Like, what is a battle mech but an apparatus of Qualish that has magic missile weapons all over it? If you think about it, right? Quick Save says, Loot the Body is one of my favorite fantasy, very 60s-esque stoner rock based on old models. I have not heard of them, but now I have. All right. So we're going to get rolling here in just a minute, but I want to take a minute because I always got to do this. And I don't mean that in a negative way. My other apparatus of Qualish is an LRM boat. I love it. I don't mean, well, I got to do this. I mean, I want to do this. I want to thank our Patreons. Guys, if you want to support the show on a monthly basis for as little as $1, you can get in on the Patreon. But our patrons, Digital Discord, Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Joseph Lucas, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damian X247, James F. Keck, William Smith, the Dungeon Minister, and Manny Wall. Thank you. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate it. And it really helps. It really, really does. So thank you all so very, very much for that. And it also should be pointed out that a lot of science fiction weapons are in Gamma World, and Gamma World is designed to be backwards compatible to AD&D. Yes, we do have a Discord. We absolutely do have a Discord. So let me see. Never expire. So if you want to join us over on Discord, you can come join us on Discord. Right there's the link in the chat. I'll put that up on the screen. I'll give that a couple of minutes, and then we'll hop right into AD&D, because I know that's what a lot of you folks are here for. You're here to see some AD&D run by me on your TV. There's quick save. I see you on the Discord, my friend. F5 is broken on my Model M keyboard. I have to bind it to F6. You know, I was shocked to find out in Windows you can't just go into applications and change what keys do. It's frustrating. It is a chill Discord. I like it. I like our Discord. Oh, hello, Luther. Welcome. I do like our Discord. It's a fun place to hang out. We meme to a standard. No, we meme to no standard. That's it. So, without further ado, those of you who've been sitting and waiting patiently for me to shut up and play some AD&D, let's do that. And let's welcome our players. Let me just bring them out of their patient waiting in the guest room. And good evening. How are you, gentlemen?
Howdy.
Hello? How you doing?
I can't hear anyone. Perhaps that's my headphones. Just a moment.
Is my sound all right?
Seems to be. We're absent James today.
Yeah. What about now?
Dang, he missed my Saturday game too.
There we go.
He's slacking.
All right. Headphones ahoy hoy. Welcome to our players. Now, where were you? Oh, yes. The huge ancient red dragon stretches out its paw and says, "Again and for the last time, all of your treasure." Or was that a different game? Must have been a different game. No, you had left the dungeons of Castle Greyhawk after brave Bejeebus
looting
had single-handedly, with just bottles of holy water and the worst hit die rolls I have ever in my life diced up. I have never rolled the hit points for 3 hit die monsters and gotten low single-digit numbers until last Tuesday. And so it was that, I'm sorry, I said Bejeebus Valoric stood toe-to-toe with a group of shadows throwing holy water on them until they were all destroyed. And, of course, the player isn't here right now.
Nope.
So
that's how it always goes, right?
He will be here, but you guys did acquire a little bit of treasure, as I recall.
A lot. Shit.
Just a little.
just enough to whet our appetite.
Yeah.
Do you guys think Sure Average should retire?
Yeah, he should retire now for sure.
Just quit while he's ahead.
He has to pay back Geenan first. Then he can retire.
Well, then I have no money to retire with.
Then he has to go back to work.
Dang it.
Decisions. So you have you've destroyed a group of shadows. One player. I just want to emphasize this to our audience. If you weren't here, if you're new to this live stream, you're like, oh hey, yeah, we're this guy's going to run some AD&D. The weirdness that can happen in an AD&D game. A player standing alone, holding off shadows, throwing holy water on them until they were all dissolved by himself. He soloed effectively 13 hit dice worth of undead at first level. Folks, sometimes the dice tell a story that neither the dungeon master nor the players expected.
He deserves a level from that. I'm sorry.
At least an achievement or something.
Yeah.
So,
give him a plaque.
Yeah. We'll buy a plaque in Greyhawk.
And a camelback.
World's bestest cleric.
Yeah.
Give him a mug then.
Yeah, a mug. Here, Valoric, we got you a mug.
Yeah.
You can pour your holy water
a mug
in
made
it.
out of beaten gold coins. It's just gold coins that have been like heated and beaten into a cylindrical mold shape. So what are you guys doing? You've collected up a good amount of coin.
We schlepped up the 2 medium urns, dumped out, and took with us the large urn. So I guess now the only thing to do is to load everybody up in the wagon and go.
Yeah.
I believe so.
We probably want to spend, like, we're probably down in the dungeon for a little while. We probably want to wait till the next day so we're not en route between Castle Greyhawk and the inn at nighttime.
Mm-hmm.
So we probably want to stay until the next morning and then get going. But we can, poor horse, we're going to lay all this stuff on the back of its cart.
I have a mule if it helps.
It's like the cart will tip up and the horse will be up, not even be able to reach down the ground.
We've got no traction.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I have a mule if it helps.
It will help.
Pull.
Okay.
Mule can carry the regular supplies.
Yeah, right.
So you have, I believe, it was many thousands of gold.
I can tell you what I wrote down if that would be helpful.
That would be very helpful.
We had 8,000 gold, 200 platinum pieces, 11 gems. That was just all from the shadows. And just before the shadows, we got 57 electrum. So that was that whole session that's the loot.
And a partridge in a pear tree.
Yeah, exactly. Luckily, we have those amphora that the money came in because I don't think we have enough bags to carry all those coins. So as long as we can carry them in those things in the back of the cart,
yeah.
okay.
Which, I mean, I can carry one of those M4 without a problem, and I think you can too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, exactly. So,
all right. So, begin your adventure, Will.
we should probably head back to to Greyhawk City.
Yes.
Vince is asking how you guys are going to move all that slowly.
Yes.
Slowly.
Mm-hmm.
800 pounds, give or take 100 pounds of coins have to be slowly removed. And rest assured, valued viewers, I am not over here just Monty hauling this. This is all the dice, and I have rolled for random encounters. They dragged this up out of the dungeon with nary a peep. I mean, to be fair, the whipping they gave the orcs, they're probably not going to come charging out after them now anyway. But as we currently have the total party strength, counting the men-at-arms, is, let's see, 6 characters and 3 able-bodied men-at-arms still up.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's actually less than 100 pounds on top of their normal gear for each of them to carry. So they're they're encumbered, but not unusually. So it's not like this is like 75,000 gold pieces and they're discussing, oh, well, we'll just take it out a bag at a time or anything like that.
And between Gene and Sir Average, we can take an extra load each because we're
Yeah.
Yes, we have two 18 percentile strength characters. So I hope that answers your question, Vince. And it is a valid question. I don't think it's nattering or anything like that. If this was the previous party of 3 adventurers, they would just have to collect up all the platinum, the gems, and then as much gold as they could carry and not get chased and stomped into the dungeon floor. But no, they are able-bodied enough to get this loot out. And again, because my dice hate me and don't want me to have fun, there were no random wandering monster encounters as they hauled this stuff out. However, there's still a day's journey back to the inn. And you say you're going in the morning?
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be wisest.
Well, the night at least passes uneventfully, and a cold morning dawns. I think it's a valid question, Vince, as to how characters move. Move that loose coin. So let's see.
We waddle. That's how we move.
Slowly and carefully. All right. So the next day is...
We get murdered by mountain trolls.
Don't give many ideas.
As I've said before, I've had parties stand fast, not much higher level than you are, stand fast against a type 6 demon in this very dungeon.
We don't have magic weapons, though. We'd be dead.
And then nearly die to a wave of giant rats on their way out. So
the dice are fickle.
The dice are fickle. All right. So let's see what the weather's like. The next day, it is late in Fireseek. There is a thick fog early in the morning. It is cold, but not freezingly so. Water is now just cold slush that's filling your boots. It's not ice that's causing you to slip and slide anymore. Isn't that wonderful? Aren't I a nice dungeon master?
So much better.
But you begin your anabasis back to the inn. Is there anything anyone wishes to do in particular or special to your travel preparations before you depart?
The stuff we put back on the back of the cart, we have some tents that we've never used. Just happened to notice that we still have them. We'll use that to cover stuff. So it might still be a, obvious large pile of stuff, but it's not, hey, look at that big pile of gold.
Mm-hmm.
It's a teepee. It's a wigwam.
Yeah.
It's 2 tents for you guys.
Worst comes to worst, I could lay in the back and just wait for somebody to pop out, to poke their head in.
Get that automagic round of surprise. Excuse me, segment. Okay, so are you traveling through the night to get there? Because it is a day's travel. Are you going to encamp along the way?
We normally just keep going, don't we?
Yeah, normally we manage to get to the inn the same day. Are we close?
Let's see. It is midnight. It's cold. Are you using any light sources as you go? You don't really have a ranger with you.
I mean,
No, I have infravision though. I mean,
that is true. That's true. Some of you are demi-humans.
Yeah.
If we don't seem to be terribly close, we probably should camp.
I mean, you think you are getting close. You should be there by the pre-dawn hours.
Okay.
May as well go.
Yeah, then let's push on.
Push through.
Right.
All right.
Worst comes to worst, we'll take an extra day and let the horse rest.
Yeah.
So what are we doing with it once we're there?
Jaden had been thinking about that. We should stand guard at the cart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's what. I'll happily stay in the cart.
Yeah. But we should do it in turns. So
Mhm.
stand guard at the cart. And then in the morning, the next morning, whatever, we go back to Castle Greyhawk, City of Greyhawk. And we need to split up this cash at some point.
And once y'all are in Greyhawk, I don't have much use other than paying you guys back. And buying some oil. I don't need much. So
Well, I wanted to pick up better armor. The scale mail's not cutting it.
Should we discuss how we're splitting it? While we're the travel music is happening and the DM is rolling wandering monster checks.
well, we have to see how much we're getting the gemstones, how much those gemstones are worth, and then I guess we just divide by 6 and then pay out followers accordingly.
Yeah.
Do we want to spend the gemstones or keep them as a store of value right now?
Probably Gene will somehow say it more in character, but he's likely to need to go to do some training.
Okay.
In which case he'll need the cash for gym fees, training equipment, etc.
Cleric too.
Yeah.
Because a second level cleric would be great.
So as you're having this discussion, talking about the gemstones and the disposition of treasure and so on, nearby in the moonless dark, as it is fog, a husky feminine voice says, "Yes, do tell how we're going to divide the gemstones. I'm certainly keen to know."
Crap.
Keep going.
Push on.
Gene can't see through the fog, but he'll keep an eye on. He'll get off the cart if he was on it, and on that side, wherever side the voice came from. And
okay, it was on your right, and everyone, you were extremely startled. You've got a few moments there. Those of you with infravision see kind of looming out of the cold mist is the feminine yet strange and alien form of a woman's torso atop a lion's body with great eagle wings behind. Regarding you all somewhat amusedly. "I'm sorry, am I interrupting you? Please keep discussing treasure."
Sure, your husband was looking for you 2 months ago.
What?
No, seriously. There was a guy here, kind of looks like you, 4 legs, big wings. Was literally just right in this area not a month ago.
Really?
Geenan, I believe you had a better look at the guy, I think?
no, you've told me that story. It happened before I joined this group.
Okay, so that was right before you joined. Okay, so yes.
What direction?
As in, which way did he go? Or
whereabouts was he?
Okay, so is she on the west side of the road or the east side of the road?
Southwest side of
Southwest. Okay, so it would have been the northeast side.
Mm-hmm.
And it would have been just before the bridge we killed that troll at. So I don't know if we've passed that bridge or not.
Okay, killing trolls, very good. I approve.
No, sorry, that was a question for the DM. Did we pass that bridge yet or not?
This far along? Yeah, actually you have.
Okay, so then it would have been the other side of the road, bridge, back, yay way.
Well, I certainly thank you. I was going to stop and see if anyone wanted to have it a game of riddles or something like that, but this is certainly much more interesting information, and I bid you all adieu. And with that, she flies away into the pre-dawn darkness.
Happy hunting.
Amazing, Sir Average. Amazing.
Wow.
Sorry.
So we're going to add marriage counseling or relationship counseling to our list of skills.
The Guided Sphinx is not, as a rule of thumb, a horrible beast if they're approached with courtesy and respect and kindliness. But you may have hit on their sole weakness, other than riddles and a good game of chess. You can hear her wings pinioning for quite some distance as she flies away, humming sweetly to herself. Okay.
Well, that was a random encounter.
It certainly was.
Yeah.
At least we didn't have to give up any money, which was Sir Average's main goal.
And hey, it
God's
wasn't
bless Sir
at
Average.
least it wasn't a Hirako Sphinx, which are eagle-headed and like to do nothing other than rip things hearts out and eat their drink their blood. But all right, well, weary, not just a little bit freaked out at having bumped into your second Sphinx in the marshes near Castle Greyhawk, but grateful, you arrive at the Last Chance Inn. There it is before you. There's a couple of people tending horses and whatnot in the half-height walled yard. A fellow with a crossbow is looking in your direction. He's armed, probably a mercenary hired to help protect the place. Hail, travelers!
Hail! Let's go get drunk, I guess.
Let's park this cart someplace and take shifts guarding it.
I'll sleep in it first.
I recognize you folks. The stable is yonder behind the inn. The lads can keep an eye on it for you.
Would you like to sleep with the M4, Deanon? Like I can carry one in.
No, I think we should just do shifts. If you want to watch first, that's fine. I'll go get some food.
We can cuddle one.
What?
We can cuddle one. It'll be soft.
Yes. Oh.
That's why I assumed you wanted to be in the back of the cart, so you could just roll around in the gold all night.
Scrooge McDuck style.
Yeah, just diving into it.
Yeah, right. It's that I must fall asleep to the scent of money.
All right. So you've reached the inn. Bejesus and Valoric are exhausted, particularly Valoric. Valoric's gonna he prayed as he walked the night, and they're going to go to their rooms. They basically open a line of credit at the inn. They just here, we never want to pay for a room again, and just take out double handfuls of Electrum and just dump them on the counter. And then go up to their rooms. You're not sure, but you think you hear them snoring as they're going up the stairs. The innkeeper raises her eyebrows and said, "Well, whatever business you got up to in that old pile of stones, I see it was at least somewhat profitable."
It was a bit. We'll be staying overnight at least, and then heading back to the city.
Well, I'm just about to put breakfast on.
Excellent.
Pitcher of cider, baked apples, wedge of cheese, eggs any way you like them, which for her is boiled or scrambled. So any way you like them, as long as you want me to hard boil them or scramble them, rasher of bacon, that sort of thing.
Bacon for all.
Can you bring me out 2 bottles of whiskey? One's for later because I've passed out all my whiskey to the new recruits.
Sure. Jean will ask for 2 bottles of whiskey for breakfast.
All right.
Breakfast whiskey.
What, doesn't everyone?
Okay, so yeah, she has spirits that she is more than happy to share with you. Some rye, some rot gut. Luther, have a lovely evening. So you guys spend the better part of the morning getting hammered then, I guess?
No, I'm bringing that out to Sir Average.
I'm going to spend part of the morning getting hammered, then saving the other bottle for later.
But don't get too hammered. You're standing guard.
Well, the hammering is for once I'm done standing guard.
Okay.
Then I can sit and be hammered and sit guard.
Sit guard. Okay, fine.
I guess I'm just buying a room at this point.
Yeah, I think we should probably stay the whole next day. Let the horse rest. Let us rest. Because it's a day and a half at least to get to the city.
So how much of that is Average going to consume?
You wouldn't. Depends. When is he off watch?
How about right now? Done.
I
I want to see this.
enough to sleep. I'm happy to make con saves until I pass out.
That is great intoxication. Beyond that, the person becomes comatose and will sleep for 7 to 10 hours.
That sounds about good.
Your morale is plus 15%. Your intelligence is -6. Your wisdom is -7. Your dexterity is -5. Your charisma is -4. You're at -5 to hit. However, for the duration of your intoxication, as long as you're conscious, which won't be for much longer, you have +3 hit points. So if you fall down the stairs on your way up to your room, you've got a damage cushion.
At that point, I just imagine you just leave him in the wagon and just wrap a blanket around.
I'm actually curious what the stats for Sir Average would look like with all those minuses.
Run them by me again.
-6 intelligence.
That'd be a 7.
-7 wisdom.
That'd be a 5.
That's not bad, and it's not awful. Slightly below average for a commoner. -5 dexterity.
That'd be a 6.
-4 charisma.
That'd be a 4.
Oof.
No, wait, -4 charisma. Sorry, that'd be a 5. Still
Okay.
bad.
And -5 on your 2 hits, but that doesn't,
That counters my gauntlets.
Yeah. So, but again, +3 hit points.
Yeah.
I always thought it was fun, and this is something. I mean, I absolutely permit this, and young burgeoning dungeon masters out there, if you're interested, if this is something that interests you, the page 82 of the Dungeon Master's Guide, the effects of alcohol and drugs. If you're looking to get a character healed, and they're not going to be combat effective at any rate, if you have the means and you're in the dungeon, get them greatly intoxicated. It's +3 hit points for at least 7 to 10 hours.
Hey, it's also great if you roll up that character that starts with only 1 hit point.
That's true.
Sort of drunken master style. Always
exactly
be
a drunken master. So, the morning and evening pass fairly uneventfully. It's the cold season. It is now God's Day, or no, it is now Water Day. It has warmed up. It is moderate, 42 degrees, partly cloudy, and there's very little wind.
So what do y'all think? I think we should stay at the inn this day. If our horse is okay for travel, the next day we'll go. So that's it. I know we pushed the horse pretty hard, so I don't want it to drop dead.
What do we want to?
Oh, go ahead.
What do we want to do with this money?
Don't talk about it until we split it up in Greyhawk City.
Right.
But
How-
I think we should split it up, and when we get to Greyhawk, we can. There are banks. There's stuff we're going to
Okay.
buy. We can't really buy anything here except for oil, which Sir Average can tell you can be annoying when you pay in coppers, right, Sir Average?
It's 1 gold a bottle, by the way. Not Jim. Sorry, Bill. Can I buy 6?
She currently
you
has
for reminding
2
me.
that she can sell you.
She currently has 2.
2 pints of oil for sale.
That's fair.
And yes, a flask of oil is 1 gold piece. If that won't break the bank.
Not anymore.
So let's rest up, and the next day we'll go to the city.
How's Alice doing?
She needs a full rest somewhere. She needs like a week's rest. I mean, she was brought low by repeated orc stabs. So, and a day on the road does not count as rest. And days, the 2 days journey back to the city of Greyhawk will not count as rest. She needs, flat on her back, solid rest.
Do we want to leave Alice here, do you think?
No.
No?
And I don't mean that in a mean way. I think she should come with us to the city. I already have a hireling in the city who hopefully has recuperated from his travails, and we can get her settled as well. And depending on how long we stay at the city, maybe she'll be fine before we go again.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I'll make sure she is well taken care of. She did admirable service.
Alrighty. She appreciates it. Okay. Unless there is something specific that you guys want to do, the inn itself is a fairly boring place. There's no trade passing through right now. It kind of comes and goes in waves. But you are, let's see, I'm just checking here. Yep, you guys are free to do what you want to.
So hit the road next day.
Yep. Let's do it.
Okay, then. Let us have a gander then and see how your travels back to the city go. It's really only a day in what you would call wilderness, but leaving the next day, and at that point you get to patrolled roads. It is Earth Day, the 27th of Fireseek. It is cold and pouring rain all day. You are cold and miserable. But hey, nothing untoward comes along during the first day of travel. The next day, which is free day, is also cold, but it is not raining this time. So the 29-mile-an-hour wind driving in out of the south, pushing the rain under everything. And you guys are soaked and freezing cold. On free day when you return to the city of Greyhawk. Oops. Wrong die. Okay, you arrive back at the city of Greyhawk. You have your cart. There is the commoner's entrance. The large gate is for traders and whatnot. And of course, they're stopping and, charging the city entry fee there in the morning. You're standing in line, dripping wet, freezing cold, but eventually your turn comes up. One of the, guardsmen of the city of Greyhawk, actually a party of the guardsmen of the city of Greyhawk, stop at your cart. Good morning, my lords. Brings you to the city of Hawks.
Rest and recuperation.
Aye. And be a bit of a stretch out on the road. All right, that will be 10 silver pieces each. 10 silver talons.
Hand it over to him.
I'll dump it out of my wet, mud-filled boot.
Yeah, I've got that in my pouch. I'll give him one.
Okay.
10, yeah. All right.
He patiently waits for you to pick up your money and hand it to him. Do you do so?
Oh, I meant I dump it out into his hand, as in I take off
okay.
my wet, mud-filled boot, and then just
Okay. All right. Yeah, he dumps it into a lockbox that one of his men is holding there. All right, into the city with you. Next.
the toe fungus is free.
Turnip cart behind him.
Should we go to that same gem person we're at before? Lynx and Turgo, not sure if you're familiar with the city. Maybe there's places you think we should go to have these gems appraised.
I'm from out of town.
I am as well.
Okay. Well, we can go back to that same gem smith, who I don't think gave us the best deal, but they gave us a deal.
Jim Smith Incorporated.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get some cash for this.
Do we have someone that has a better face for the job? No offense.
Perhaps me.
I think, didn't you try last time?
Yeah. But when you in game mechanics, who among us is charismatic?
Yeah.
I got a 12, which I
I'm
don't
pretty
think is very high.
antisocial.
I got a 14.
Okay. Let's try
See
you
you.
again.
Yeah. We're bringing back repeat business. I think we should get them appraised, and then we can discuss if we should have them cashed in, because they could be useful as a unit.
Yeah,
Something.
I agree.
I think worst comes to worst, though, we can get the men-at-arms better equipment as well.
Yes, that is something I want to do. Oh, look at that.
Is that
What do
James?
Valoric and Bejeebus think you should do?
Just in time for the money.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We definitely need to divide it equally.
We were going to get the gems appraised first, and then we can figure out the split. But yes.
Okay, yeah. I don't think either of my guys have very good charisma. I know Valoric is like a 7.
Oh, God.
He's not a friendly priest.
Wow.
And you did that well with your turn undead?
I guess so.
Good God.
Turn Undead has nothing to do with charisma, or maybe
I
low
was
charisma
about
is
to say,
helpful.
yeah.
I was thinking of 3rd edition where it gave you, but like a high charisma gave you a bonus. to
Shame
turn
on
undead
you.
checks.
Not here.
No.
So let's go see that gemsmith, and I will go in with my little bag of gems and ask if he could if the gemsmith could appraise them for me. Tell me how much they might be worth.
Okay. So let's see. The Dungeon Master is doing math here. All right, so there is a small spinel that he spends a long time focusing on. I mean, he pulls out a loop, he gets another loop, he summons another lapidary in to look at it. They have a quiet discussion, and he comes back and says, "This is a very, very valuable gem you have here." Now, I'm not going to say that you'll get this much, but this could be worth at least 7,000 gold pieces.
Oh,
It's that precious. The cut, color, and clarity are amazing.
oh.
Now, the majority of this, here's another, see, look at this. And you're not trained. He puts another gem that looks almost exactly like it in the same color. And he says, look at the difference between the two. This is worth merely perhaps 700 or 800 next to it. These, the majority of them, other than this topaz here, some of them are worth as little as 10 gold pieces. But yeah, I mean, he quotes you some pretty good prices for these.
I
Valorant
guess I go back out to the gang and say, should I just cash these in?
Cash out.
If he's gonna,
Valoric wants to suggest something. Perhaps we should just get these gems detected. See if there's any kind of magical aura about them. If he's willing to say that it's worth 7,000, it could be worth a lot more if it's magical.
Okay. I don't have any such connections. Do you have a way of?
Perhaps one of the priests at the temple might be able to help us out.
Well, I'm willing to give that a try. We can come back and cash them in tomorrow.
Okay.
So let's do that. Sorry.
Oh, is he willing to give us the 7,000? Because I think that's.
He may.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
I'm sure
Let's
it
go
won't be
get it
quite
detected
7,000.
then.
Won't be quite 7,000.
Yeah, he's got to make a profit.
Yeah. Okay. So let's do that. Take it away, Valoric.
Okay, I guess Valoric will transport it to the temple.
Okay. So you want detect magic cast, correct?
Yes.
All right. Well, spell casting isn't free. There has to be a tithe for it. Have a moment. Let's have a gander and see what the going rate at the temple is for detect magic. Now, this is something, viewers, you should always keep an eye on. Don't let your players abuse the church. Unless they do some huge service for them. But let's have a gander here.
Well, what's kind of funny is, I think from Sir Average's point of view, he'd probably look at Valoric and go, "Why are you asking the temple? Why can't you do it?"
All right. The tithe is 150 gold pieces.
How much?
150.
Very good. You'll pay it.
Okay.
Out of your own money?
Yes.
Money bags Valoric over there.
Praise over it for a while. No, these are not magical gemstones in any way.
Thank you, sir. He's gonna donate another 50 gold to the church as well. Just round it up to 200 out of his share.
Very well. Thank you indeed.
So I guess let's go back and see what we can get for selling these gems, including that very special one, which he made sure to point out to me was very special.
Well, very, very, very valuable.
Very valuable, yes. Yeah, let's go back to the gemsmith and see what he will offer for the collection of gems.
Okay, so for the lot, he takes out an abacus and starts flipping through it there. So let's... You guys hear a banging sound. It's because Zeus just invited himself into the studio. So... So let's see here.
Carry the 1, divide by 12,
Yeah.
I can't wait to see the XP we're going to get from all this. It's going to be great.
plus 37, minus 84,
Square root of 2.
divide by the square of the hypotenuse.
You guys aren't making that any easier. All right. He says, look, you've always brought me beautiful pieces. And to deny you a single iron coin less than 9,500 gold would be criminal on my part.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right.
I'm pretty sure last time I tried to talk him up, I end up losing. So I'm just going to... That's a really nice number. I'm stopping.
Yeah, that's a good number.
We just doubled our haul, basically.
Yeah. Now we have to divide this. And we have to ask the GM at some point to give us XP.
Oh, yes. All that's coming tonight. See,
Yep.
sometimes, unfortunately, viewers, the A in AD&D stands for accounting.
Yep.
And you will find that I am a stickler about a great many things in AD&D, and that is including the proper accounting of an experience. Consider this a bit of a learning experience. I really don't like, oh, you all gain a level, and you know. So yes, basically, he doesn't have 9,500 gold pieces to hand. I mean, 950 pounds of gold coins. But if you accompany him to the money exchange in Greyhawk, essentially it's the Bank of Greyhawk, he will gladly write you a right there what amounts to a check that says move this amount of coins into a strong box for them. And then you can then take those monies out as you need them.
Yeah. Okay. That sounds good.
All right. And I mean, they take you into a room which is barred in magical darkness. You turn a couple of directions before you come out of the magical darkness in a counting room, and it is shown to you they're moving the coins into a strong box, and then back out the same way.
Well, while we're here, shall we take the money out of the cart and add it to the strong box?
Yeah, how does that work?
I mean, if we already have an account, right? May as well.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, we have an account. We may want individual accounts, but for now, that way it's not on the back of our cart while we're going through Greyhawk. Might be a good idea. So we would like to add to this deposit we have the rest of the money that was in the back of our cart.
Hello, James.
Hello.
And Kyle, I think you calculated for us the division.
That is
What was it?
without the platinum, yes, because I didn't know if we wanted to go ahead and hand out the platinum separate, so we had pocket money or whatever. So that's why I left it out.
I think we're putting it all into a big strong box for now. Let's divide it up, and then we can figure out how we're going to take cash out of it.
Yeah, let's all get it in one place. Then we'll divide it up. Then we'll take money out.
Because I think it's like 18,500 gold value.
That is
between
correct.
the gems and
It's
the
close,
gold
yeah.
and the platinum. So if
Now-
we just put it in one big pile and on a big table someplace in a bank.
Are you dividing this evenly amongst your 6 characters?
Yes,
Yes.
that was the
Okay.
plan.
All right. That
We
helps.
love our
me.
hirelings, but they spent most of the time asleep.
Yeah, but the hirelings, in my opinion, are my hirelings, my business. They get their bonuses from my pay.
Mm.
Sounds good to me.
And that's also easy.
Okay. So you fought and slew a grand total of, I believe it was 21 orcs. Yes.
Sounds right.
All right. So let's have a
Yes,
gander.
And an ogre.
Yeah.
And an ogre. That's right. We shan't forget the ogre.
Also, just to throw you for a loop, Bill,
Yes.
there was the little side adventure that Valoric, Bejeebus, and Jeanin had
Mhm.
with the pickpocket. I'm not sure if there's
Yes.
XP from that.
That's, let's see.
We killed a couple bandits, I think, or whatever you want to call them.
I could be mistaken, and if any of you viewers know, I think I already gave out XP for that.
Okay.
I
couldn't
think you
remember.
probably did as well.
But we can circle back around if we didn't. That sounds very, very much like something that we'd already done.
Okay.
So let's see what you have won. All right. So let's see. You slew a couple of orc bodyguards. So that's. And let's see.
Didn't we get their chief too?
No.
Yeah, we never actually killed their chief.
Oh, okay.
He didn't
Oh,
take
yeah,
the
he
bait
ran.
when I was trying to bait him out. He always stayed back.
He's not stupid. He survived to be the chief for a reason.
Remember, respect the boss. It says right there.
Respect the boss. That's right. All right. So let's see. That was that leaves 19. So that is all right. All right, and the ogre. The ogre. And by the way, if you're following along at home, folks, if you're new to AD&D, in the back of the Dungeon Master's Guide, there are very handy tables for calculating how much XP monsters are worth. Now, if you go over and you look on page, I believe it's 98 or thereabouts, there is a how to calculate XP table. You may note that some of the monsters in the index don't add up on that chart. But that's okay. They don't have to. That is just for calculating certain special NPCs or things that maybe have variable given for XP amounts. It just says variable. That's what you use that chart for. So let's see. How many hit by 4? 28. All right. So now, you did have men-at-arms helping you fight those ogres. There were, I think, orcs and the ogre.
They were also out cold.
Yeah, but they were.
But they
helping
were
us.
there were many in the fight. So
anywhere between 1 and 5.
Yeah.
Depending on the fight.
So
Average.
Not that much from them. So. So the total XP. Now, this does not count for Valoric because we have some special calculations to do for Valoric. The total XP for all characters, and you can list these for Valoric because I'm only going to add on to what Valoric's already got, is 3,132 experience points.
Plus 10% for me. Woo.
Yes. Do remember, if you are a fighter of exceptional strength, a cleric of exceptional wisdom, and a thief of exceptional dexterity, you will gain a 10% bonus just depending on your class and so on. So
I have a question about the multi-class. I've got the magic user part is good, but the fighter part, he doesn't have the exceptional strength or whatever for the bonus. How do we divide that up?
You simply don't get the 10%.
Okay,
Sorry.
not at all. Okay, that's it.
All right, so let's take a look then.
So 132, is that what we have?
I need some training.
Yeah. Isn't that great? That's what that cash is for.
Yeah. I was hoping to buy some armor with it first.
I could hit level 3.
Nice.
I'm not going to have enough
money.
Oh, yeah, I know. I'm not going to have enough money to train to get to level 3.
But... No, I'm not lending you money again.
No, you guys need a level first.
So how many shadows was it?
3.
3. Okay. So all right, and then let's see, 4 per hit point. Not that they had a lot of hit points. Valoric adds 861 XP.
There we go. Okay.
Keeping fear and glory on your name there, Valoric. So 861. So Valoric, now has 3,993 experience points.
In addition.
And Valoric's a dual class, yes?
No, Valoric's the priest. He's just a cleric.
Oh, just a human cleric. Wow.
Yeah.
So following along, for all of our viewers out there who are playing along at home, that nearly 4,000 experience points that Valoric has brings him. Somebody sprang a leak.
My dog playing with her toy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
4,000 experience points. No, that's the assassin's XP table. You're not a half orc. Which is a thing. You can be a cleric assassin if you're a half orc. It's crazy. But assassin, of course, means you have to be evil and so on. All the baggage that comes with that. And Valoric is at first level, correct?
Yes.
So here is the unfortunate part.
I can only go up to second level.
You will take well, no, it'll push you up to the middle of third level. So you will gain second level. You won't lose any XP. So yeah, that brings you up to second and a quarter level, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 4,000 is second and a third level. All right, do you want to now you guys have heaps of treasure. Who else was able to level? Okay, everybody. All right.
Bejeebus should be, I believe. Of course, his is divided between the two classes.
Okay, then. So just going around the room, we'll start with Doomsword with Turgo. Turgo is a single class thief, yes?
Yes.
Okay, so looking at the thief, and again, if you want to follow along, folks, we are on page, is it 25 or did I? No, I'm not quite. I'm not in the right place. Yes. Okay, so Turgo, you have enough to get to second level, and that puts you about halfway up to third level. How about Bejeebus? Was Bejeebus able to level?
No, probably not. He only reached 3,592. Now, was that including the division of treasure as well, or
Yes, that is everything paid for.
Okay.
Lord Corion, Lynx. How about Lynx?
Yep, I'm level 2 now. I got 3,132.
3,132, and you're a basic fighter, correct?
Basic fighter, yeah.
Basic fighter. All right, my favorite kind. All right, nice,
quick,
simple. Yeah, I mean, honestly, you're just behind thieves on progression. So that pushes you up to mid-second level.
Awesome.
What about our neighborhood dwarf?
I should be at third level. I'm at 5177. And yes, I've paid back Valoric and Genin, and not accounting for the platinum, I have 854 and change for gold left.
Oh, okay. And Mark, you said Genin was able to level?
Yeah, I've got a total of 3904 XP at the moment, given previous XP. So I'm just shy third level, which is fine. I'll train now, go back to the kill an orc, and then come back. Yeah.
Now you're fighter magic user, yes?
Nope, just straight fighter.
Straight fighter. Why do I keep thinking?
That's Bejeebus.
Right.
One person multi-classes, and you think it's everyone.
And I know. I'm paranoid. I see multi-classing everywhere. All right. Well, you're all going about your business in the city of Greyhawk, and it is, as I said, it did take you a couple of days. You arrived on the last day, or no, you arrived on the first day of the next month. For it is now cold even. Spring has sprung. I'm sorry, readying. It is readying. I jumped over a month there. Star day, only moderately cold, 42 degrees, partly cloudy and calm. I feel like I should set up like one of those Weather Channel weather tickers, but Greyhawk weather, just do an overlay. I should do that for the game. Your 10-day Greyhawk forecast and some light new age jazz playing. You see it in the airports. No, is that just me? Okay.
No, I know what you mean.
Alrighty. So,
question for the party: how much platinum did we have?
200 platinum.
200.
And folks, if you're out there wondering, like, wow, this Bill is really running a Monty Hall game. Sometimes the dice just do this. They could potentially go for weeks of adventure and not see another coin.
And all this coin's going to leave pretty soon when we're training.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Because Lynx, you're not second level yet.
Nope.
Yeah, if you want to do the thing with Demi Moore in that horrible movie, Indecent Proposal, and roll around in the money on the bed, do it now, because it's all going into the pockets of various guild masters and temples and so on and etc.
All right, well, I'll throw it on the bed and take turns.
Yeah, after about the third or fourth time when they start to warm up, the coins just stick to you. It's actually kind of uncomfortable, really.
How much will it cost? I haven't
Okay.
yet, but I'm waiting for the GM to give me the official.
So the official cost let's take a look here. So you all played very well. You played your characters exceptionally well. I didn't see thieves trying to be fighters and fighters shirking their duties. I saw a cleric better than any cleric that I have seen cleric in a low-level game in a long time. I tip my DM's duffer, which I would wear if it wasn't for the headphones, to you for that bit of daring do. Their casting out the evil, pouring your holy water on it. So let us take then a gander. So I rate you all excellent, with few deviations from the norm. A cleric remained faithful to their deity. Fighters did not hang back from combat or attempt to steal. Magic users, I don't think you guys have a magic user. Well, not really, that can combat spells. Sorry.
See, he is useless.
But he's good with a crossbow and a sword. Yes. So come on.
Buy a bow.
Well, if you leveled as magic user, now you can pick a spell to research and attempt to add to your repertoire.
I've got to go kill a couple more orcs to.
No. All right. So it's going to take you all a week of study. Now, the cost on page 86 in the Dungeon Master's Guide, for those of you that are following along at home, the cost is 1,500 times the amount of weeks to study. Level of the trainee times 1,500 equals the weekly cost. I'm sorry. You are all first level. 1,500 times 1 equals 1,500. So you may all take some time. Someone had asked about the platinum. That was 200 platinum pieces that you guys pulled out. And I did count its gold value in with the treasure because I'm assuming you distributed it all evenly.
Yep.
Although
it counted for XP. I was referring to what the no was for when I was giving out how much money each of us gets.
To be fair, if Valoric had just said, look, all this treasure is mine, y'all can go jump, he would have been entirely justified. I'm just saying.
Pardon me. Going back to something that's happening in the side chat, can someone just tell me how much gold value we get per person?
Whatever 33 times 5 is plus that number.
No. Total, please.
Yeah, give me 1 sec.
Because didn't we get 18,500 in gems, gold? So what's that divided by 6?
Oh, I see. Yeah, I didn't factor that in.
3,083.
So that's what we should have gotten. Each one of us. It's in the bank. There's piles.
Oh yeah, dear Christ.
3,083. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
much better.
That's moolah.
Yeah, really. I might be able to level after all.
And then Sir Average paid me back. So now Sir Average, I don't need to protect him anymore. Thank you. And then I spent a good portion of that. There we go. That's how much money I've got in the bank. Thanks. Which is plenty.
Bill, I've got a question.
I have an answer.
Okay, thanks. I have a 10% experience bonus, which puts me at 3445 total.
Okay.
Yeah. Are we allowed to advance a level and then you have to stop?
You advance and then you stop. Anything that would push you to a second level is just dropped.
Okay, so you stop right at where do you stop? Do you stop halfway between?
So just looking at the fighters table, if like
I'm a thief.
No, I know. I'm just
right.
For example. So let's say you earned 4,632 on your first ever adventure as a fighter. Well, no, that's not right. Let's say you are. Oh wait, yeah, no, 4,632. Everything after 4,000 XP, you do not count. You gain enough to. No, it's 2 levels. My apologies to viewers and to players. It's 2 levels. So let's take that same example and say you earned 8,432. You'd gain your first. You could train up to your first level, train up to a second level potentially, but not hop to there's no level skipping. You still have to do the training, but you don't gain XP to go 2 levels, if that makes sense.
And it's your level times 1,000 does cost to level up, right?
That is correct. That is correct.
Oh, I thought it was 1,500.
Wait. No, it is 1,500. It is 1,500.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's Sir
tricky.
Average trying to.
I'm just making sure I
Scam
got it
smart.
right. And I didn't have it right.
So as a thief with almost 3,500, that would put me enough experience to be at 3rd level, but I'd have to have the money to train to 3rd level. Is
Correct.
that right?
And until you can train to be 3rd level, you will gain no additional experience points.
Okay. So, I don't have enough money to train to 3rd level, not quite. So I would be, because that's a cumulative 1,500, right? So
Correct.
1,500 to change. Okay, right. Yeah.
So going from assuming superior play and or excellent play,
Right.
and a week's nominal training, not fewer. I mean, if you really hit it out of the park and were, playing like both Fofford and the Grey Mouser at the same time, it could potentially be less than a week, in which case it would be a fractional amount of 15 or your current level times 1,500 equaling the amount of time. It could be less. So
How much more does he need?
Thank you.
Yeah. How much more do you need?
It looks like I'm going to need 1,417. 1,417.
I can cough up $1,000 at that. How's that sound?
I can cough up to 400 then. So
Well, that's
or the
amazing.
1417.
Right.
I mean, I want it
That's
back,
great.
but I'd rather have a thief
Right.
alive and,
Yeah.
Right. So I owe 417 to Sir Average.
You owe-
1,000 to Sir Average.
Yeah, you owe 1,000
Okay.
to me.
And 417 to Lynx.
Okay. I appreciate that, guys.
Anytime.
Stay alive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
now
got a
you-
much better chance of it now.
Now you have to make sure he stays alive so you can pay him back.
That's true.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the sad part. This is probably the only reason Sir Average is going to keep him alive.
no, guys, I did have it right the first time. I mean, I'll let it slide because I misspoke, but this is over on page 86. Anyone out there who's watching the stream and yelling at the screen that I dropped the ball on this, it's very clear, all caps. Once a character has points which are equal to or greater than the minimum number necessary to move upwards in an experience level, no further experience points can be gained until the character actually gains the new level. So,
Okay.
Right. So we
yeah,
drop
you would go from 1 to 2 and then stop.
yes.
and we drop all the experience. So like the 3445 becomes 1250, right? So that other experience is just gone.
Yes. Sorry.
Okay. Yeah, no, that's fine. Thanks for the clarification.
So I stopped at 2,000.
Yes.
So you don't owe me $1,000.
Right. I won't owe anybody anything.
Okay.
But you're just that much closer, You're just that far away from actually getting to the next level.
So the training will be a week. Can I roll my hit points?
Yes, anyone who has trained and leveled, you may roll your hit points now.
Oh, this better be good. It's a D10, right? For fighters?
For fighters, it is a D10. Clerics, D8. Thieves, D6.
Oh, 3 points. Shit.
Hey, 6.
There you go. All right.
6.
Damn.
Big rolls.
Man.
Big rolls.
Not so good for Janin, but
Well, some days you get to bear, and someday the bear gets you. But Junan's got a high con, right?
nope.
Oh,
He has a high dex.
high
Yeah.
dex. Okay.
He's got okay.
Well, is it
con.
better to be hit, or is it better to survive the hits you take?
I'm working on the I don't want to be hit.
So you're like the leopard one of fighters. The little bit of Cold War trivia for our viewers and possibly for our players. In the 60s, the Germans threw out the idea that, just drape a ton of armor, well, many tons of armor onto a tank and have it slow and lumbering. Speed will be your armor. And so the Leopard 1 had for the time, very powerful 105 millimeter cannon and paper armor. Really, really, really thin armor, like World War II era thin armor. And as it was proven, is they thought, well, an anti-tank guided missile, which is a thing that is coming out right now onto the world's front, it'll make armor completely redundant. That's not the case at all. So you had the British look at that and go, nope, she won't be right. and develop many types of composite armors, which and then when they went back and built the Leopard 2, they said, right, lots of armor and a big gun. Gotcha. So yeah, unfortunately, speed as armor is perhaps outside of D&D is perhaps not the best concept to move forward with. Okay, so let's carry on. Other than getting a very let's see, who has the best charisma? I know we just talked about this, but
Janin.
Janin, you attract a friendly gaze from a woman while you're carrying on your business the first day there in Greyhawk, but she doesn't strike you as evil or anything, doesn't give you any special regard. You just notice that, she's not doesn't present herself like a harlot, nor does she seem like a commoner, just a very attractive woman. Just pointing out that encounter. The rest of you, or the most of you, spending time in training then?
Valoric's going to see if he can acquire another spell, perhaps.
All right. What spell does Valoric wish to attempt to add to his repertoire?
What do you think, guys? What would be a good one?
Sleep.
No, he's a
That would
cleric.
be valid, yeah.
That is the low-level magic user's fireball spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
What?
best.
For the love of Christ.
I'm
take
sorry, are
sleep.
you talking about Valoric or are you talking about Pajinas?
Valoric, yeah, no, for pretty spells.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
No, you don't.
Priests just get spells.
Yeah, you just pray and they come to you. You just pick whichever one you want. It's not like a magic user.
Oh, okay. So you can just pick whatever you want out of the.
Yeah. You just. So you going up to a second level cleric now. What is your wisdom?
Let me bring it back up here. Oh, I did it completely different when I was running it. So his wisdom's 16. He's got 2 bonus first level spells, and he'll gain 2 bonus second level spells when he's able to cast those.
Yeah, so you're the healing vending machine now for the party.
Yeah.
Stabbed, see the cleric at the back of the party. Stabbed, see the cleric. 2 arrows, cleric. just right through the
Okay.
skirmish line there. We'll close the shield wall behind you.
All right then. That'll work. Okay.
Question for the DM while the party is doing training things.
Yes.
I'm going to give each of my followers, even though they didn't do a ton, I'm going to give them both 10 gold to go have fun, play
Okay.
nice with the other kitties. But I also would like to get them better armor, if that's okay.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's the city of Greyhawk. Whatever it is you seek to buy, you can within reason.
Okay. How about, what is the functional difference between splint and banded mail? Stupid question, I know.
It's encumbrance, armor class.
Well,
Cost.
they're treated the same as far as armor class goes.
It's encumbrance. Banded mail is less bulky.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why Geenan wears banded mail, so he can still keep his dex bonuses on things.
What could I get for their ring mail?
Their ring mail is actually pretty bashed up and sweated in
figured,
and
yeah.
bled on, so a third of the list
Okay.
cost.
That's fine. Okay, so a third's fine. So that's 10. That's another 10. So I get their month's payback.
Okay.
So I mean that's nice. Okay, cool. Thanks. And am I buying the banded mail at market value, or is it marked up?
No, it's standard market value per the Dungeon Master or Player's Handbook.
Excellent. Thank you.
And so I can just buy some plate mail as well, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
What are some shovels going to cost us? Because we keep needing shovels.
Shovel might be listed under equipment in the Player's Handbook. If not, it's not terribly expensive. I would say probably. Again, if there's not a listing for it, I mean, I would just base it off of, let's see,
Yeah,
miscellaneous equipment. I'm gonna say for a good, well-made shovel, it's gonna set you back a silver piece.
Okay. I'll buy a couple of those.
Okay.
Geenan's also going to upgrade his followers' armor. He probably won't get much if he sells the studded leather they have, but you tell me if there's anything, but he's going to upgrade them to banded.
Yeah, their armor, I mean, it's holding together, but it's fairly bashed up. You're not going to get but about a third of what it's worth.
Okay. Then he's going to probably, after his training, he's going to go out and make sure they all get banded armor.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which will greatly increase their survivability, I think.
Yeah, their armor class is the same as mine now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Word gets around that you guys are spending money like water, and that attracts that attracts, how can I put this delicately without getting demonetized before I can even monetize myself? Camp followers. Yes, that certain subtable in the urban encounters of the Dungeon Master's Guide has come into play. What you players do with that information, I will leave up to you. And we'll move on. I'm not a shrinking daisy or anything like that, but again, we need to be tasteful about things.
Carousing happens.
Something like that.
Carousing happens.
So Jeanin had 2 hirelings, one that was in town sick and hopefully is better by now, and Alice who needed to rest up. Given the training, etc., will they both be available for duty?
The sick fellow still has a couple of weeks to heal up. You guys are not gone that long. He was pretty ill. Alice, she's back on her feet. She had injuries, but
Okay, then Carlos was the guy we left back in town.
yes.
I check
Carlos.
in on him. I give, I think I was hiring someone to help take care of him. I make
Yes.
sure that they're set for the future, and that's that. That's too bad. I guess I could hire a new person anyway instead. Maybe.
Okay. After looking in on Carlos, he's feeling a little bit more hale. He's up to where he can have a piece of bread with his broth now, and sit up without his back feeling like it's being beaten with sledges. His description there. On your way out, a fellow comes up holding out a wooden cup attached to a peg, which is attached to a stump at the end of his arm, where a hand would be, you think, leaning on a stick. He's got one leg and he's hobbling forward. Alms, sir, alms, please.
I toss a couple silver into his cup and keep moving.
Okay.
And now I get swamped by other
beggars.
Okay. He tells you, I too was a man who explored the wider world when I was in my youth, but now I'm 39. I'm done. But I will tell you this, sir. You needn't go out into the wilds beneath the streets of Greyhawk itself. There are mazy places, dark, full of rewards, and potentially more money. Blessing of the gods upon you, my lord.
Yeah. Besides the Thieves Guild, are there other places with lots of money under the city?
He looks furtively around. It's rumored that Theobald, the old bastard who was head of the Beggar Masters Guild, they came a crop of the Assassins Guild and were cut out. He tried to flee with a mighty chest of treasure. But where he got to, or where it went, no one knows. I would start in the warehouse district, where the old Beggars Guild used to be. He puts the cup under his arm and kind of does this, and pulls a sheaf of papers out of his collar and, yeah, it's in the warehouse district. Winks. Folds the paper back. You're close enough to see now that his missing leg is folded up very tightly behind his calf and tucked under his filthy rags. And his missing teeth, he has like black licorice pushed down over a couple of them. He genuinely is missing some teeth, but he kind of winks it. Slips the cup back over his hand and starts limping away. Please, alms for the lame.
Excellent.
Alms for the poor. And no other beggars accost you, actually.
Good.
Question.
Damien says, oh, great, a sewer adventure. Of course, a sewer adventure. Why wouldn't it be? Yes.
This is specifically for Bejeebus. Can he use a short bow?
You are muted.
You are muted.
You're a
James.
mutant.
Yes, I'm muted. Yes, I should be able to use a short bow. I'm not proficient with one, but as an elf, I gain a +1 with bows. So
So DM, does that make him proficient?
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. I mean, being an elf and being +1 with a bow just means that you take a lesser penalty to
Right.
being not proficient.
Right.
I mean, you're an elf. You know that the arrows come off of the stringy part, and you and you hold the bendy wood part in one hand and make arrows come out.
He'd be at a -1 because as a
Yeah.
fighter, he's a -2 for non-proficient.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
he'd be
He
at a
would-
-1 to use it.
He
Yeah,
would be.
It wouldn't be terrible. It wouldn't be terrible.
Yeah, I was just trying to think of a way to give him more than D4 damage for ranged. What about our other local fighter here? Do you have a ranged implement, good sir?
Yeah, I use javelins.
Cool. Are you particularly partial to javelins, or do you just like them because they're cheap?
They were cheap. That's what I
Cool.
picked up.
You got money now. You can spend a little.
So
Yeah.
you're gonna come back from your training then, and Sir Average is basically he's gonna take and shove a composite short bow and a double quiver full of arrows. That's 2 score arrows in your hands.
Awesome.
And say, this is for keeping yourself alive. Now keep the rest of us alive. And I'm getting one for myself as well.
Alrighty.
I have a ranged implement again. And James, please, for the love of God, keep that crossbow.
Okay.
I'm taking it off my character sheet.
That'll work. I gotta buy some more corals for it though. I'm down to like 8.
Yeah, sorry, I only had a score on me.
Yeah. I'm down to like 8, so I need to buy some more.
Okay. Links, there's a large group of workmen just ambling by you. They don't pay you any particular mind. They have picks and shovels and rakes, and some of them are wearing aprons with small tool implements. They seem to be going somewhere to do something. Do you inquire of them at all or carry on any discussion with them? This is just on one of the many given days you're spending in Greyhawk.
If they're wandering by slowly, I ask, yeah. You look like you got a job to do. Where are you guys going?
To our job, sir.
I'll drink to that job then. Have a great one.
Boy, they salute you and carry on about their business. Boy, the random encounter dice have been friendly tonight. All right. Meanwhile, Turgo, the master would not approve. Sorry, that's Torgo. Yeah, you just make some idle chit chat with some tradesmen. There are a couple of coopers, they've got woodworking tools, hammers, probably pouches full of nails, ask you if you'd like to earn an honest trade. I mean, I'm guessing you're not like walking around with your black t-shirt with white letters that say "I steal stuff" in the city of Greyhawk.
Yeah, right. Generally not.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. One of them says, "You look like an able fellow. Would you care to apprentice for a trade?"
No, I'm presently occupied, but I appreciate the compliment.
All right. this should be fun. Average,
Mm-hmm.
as you are taking in whatever part of you're doing your shopping there.
I'm
in the
doing
city.
some menial shopping, buying things
You're
like sacks,
doing
iron
some
spikes.
menial shopping. There is a let's see. You're in the shop, and a fellow in green vestments comes in. He has a ledger under one arm. There's a few, let's see. There's a couple of men with him, and there's a little bit of back and forth in the shop over there. And he's, yes, now we are coming into this season of spring, and you must pay your taxes, as is all the duties on the shops. And it's not yeah, the shopkeeper's not happy about this. You'll put my children into the poorhouse. You're robbing food off my plate. I pay my taxes regularly. This is highway robbery. Do you just watch this? Do you intervene or anything?
I don't have a horse in this race.
That's fine. This back and forth goes on, but he begrudgingly counts out some silver and pays it to the city official, who writes something in the ledger, shuts it, and hands the small pouch of silver over to the armed man next to him, who puts it into a pouch, which closes with a snap. So he's definitely got some kind of, looks around. Good day, dwarf. And
Where's the guy that was bitching?
Oh, he's the shopkeep.
Okay. So I'm let the other guy leave.
Okay.
You can just complain to somebody higher up than him, right?
Complain. I do it every tax season.
And
Walks out of here with half of my profits.
it's
It's the Syndics Guild. It's taxi. I knew it was coming. Every year they seem to squeeze a little bit more. Whether it's even down to the last iron rilk, they seem to want a little bit more. But come through, scrape the shit out of the streets, maybe teach some whelps their letters, and everyone's happy again. It's all the same.
they pay the guards.
You know what I mean, good dwarf.
I'm just gonna have to shrug and walk away, because dwarves are very accustomed to having to pay taxes, both coming and going. So, and somehow I think the taxes in Greyhawk are somewhat far more lenient.
This didn't seem like a shakedown. This is, just nobody's happy about having to sit back and go to irs.gov, are they?
Yeah.
No, of course not.
Yeah.
And this is no exception. So let's see. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Jeanin, as you're going along, there's a young girl. She's holding a bundle in her hands and so on and etc. Not paying attention. She's just kind of just doing a sing-songy thing, and pow, bumps into you, drops what she's carrying, and you hear a smash. She picks up what she was carrying, and you can now see it's a doll, or it's what's left of a doll, the porcelain doll, The face is smashed in, and she sees it and draws in her breath in horror and starts crying loudly. This was my only dolly. I saved up all my money, and I spent it to buy this dolly. She was my best friend. This is terrible. This is horrible.
Given my previous experience with being bumped into by children, is my purse still intact?
Is that the first thing you're going for?
Unfortunately, yes. It's like, well, I'm going like, hey, kid. I'm like, wait, is my pouch still here?
Yes, your pouch is still there. It's got a very firm grip on it. That's not yours.
Grab that hand. Turn to look.
Yeah, she grins wickedly at you and says, all right, you caught me. Don't have to call the watch.
Another one. What was that other one's name? You must all know each other.
Are you like trying to stop her or anything?
I just, take her fingers out of my pouch and say, please be more careful with your dolly next time. Thank you, shoe kid.
Yeah, she getting a closer look at this is not a child.
Yeah,
this is a halfling. And she's when you say shoe kid, as you're turning and walking away, she makes a very rude comment about your anatomy.
Of course. I wish I could remember their names. I would have.
And as she's walking away, or as you're walking away, she says, "Damn it! Now I have to go buy another freaking doll."
That's why you need to be more careful with them.
That's part of the gimmick, you idiot.
Then use a cheaper gimmick. Bye.
She picks it up and tosses it in a rubbish barrel and walks away. All right. So sad. I mean, fortunately, you did not get your pocket picked.
They tried that before. Didn't work then either.
You're an easy mark. What can I say?
I am.
Okay. Is there anything else? You've done your shopping. You've done your week's training. Is there anything else you guys wish to do there in the city?
Yeah, I think I might want to hire a new hireling because Carlos is unfortunately still sick, so I can't use it right now.
Yeah, I mean it'll be another week or so.
Man, he's still sick.
Yeah, he got bad.
Yeah,
it's from that trip in the sewers we took.
Someone was asking, Damien X247 on the chat was saying, I hope D&D has spells for cleaning clothes and removing stench. It's a little more than that, traipsing around in the sewers under a major city like Greyhawk.
Yeah.
Rot grubs around every corner.
Will it take a lot of time for me to find another essentially Lightfoot and for me to spend some cash to buy their equipment?
No. It will certainly not. You can knock around the hiring halls,
yeah,
and hire a few. Let me see.
I just want to get one more, so I'm back up to a total of 4 at duty.
So taking a look at that, we've talked a lot about hirelings here on the show. So you're looking for Lightfoot, correct?
Yeah. Just
so
like
let's see who's there at the hiring halls, mercenaries. So yes, there is actually we'll roll a d10 here. Let's see. There is a company of Lightfoot for hire.
I need one.
Only one job opening, guys. Come on.
I just want Bob.
No, I think I'm up to Eric. I've got Alice and Barney and Carlos and Dora, so now I'm at Eric.
I can't wait until we hit Frank.
Since I alternate their gender, I guess it would be probably Francis.
So there's 11 Lightfoot, fresh from campaigns against the Bandit Kingdoms, who are available for hire at the hiring hall in Greyhawk.
I have one position. I'm not going to ask them to fight over it, but does one of them wish to join my crew? Dangerous work, Castle Greyhawk. I don't hide the fact that this is dangerous work, but I tell them good treasure. You can talk to my people. I treat well.
Yeah, when you say good treasure, they're all like, yeah, I want that. We all, well, if it's dangerous, you need more men at arms, sir. Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle all 11 of you at the same time. I would then need to get a captain or a sergeant or something. Can I hire one?
Hire a captain or a sergeant?
No.
Oh, one of them, no.
One of these guys.
They literally all want the visit. None of them want to back down if there's a chance of making fat treasure here.
Wait, can we take a couple?
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to figure this out. Like, how would this work? If I had now 14 hirelings, my 3 and 11 more, how many more people would I need to hire to keep them in line, etc.? I'd also have to get food for them. Oh my God, this is a mess. I can't hire 11 at the moment.
Yeah, well, they thank you for your consideration.
Okay.
And
That's too bad.
yeah.
Maybe next time I'm in town, I'll look you guys up. Thanks.
They
too many.
go,
I just want one.
they go back to hanging around the hiring hall hoping someone hires them.
Okay, damn it. Okay.
All right.
That's the last I wanted to do in town, I think.
Anyone else? Anyone at all?
Valoric, buy more holy water.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
That
Potions.
was more efficient than
Valoric.
anything else we ever did the entire time we were there.
We're out of potions, Valora.
Yeah, I think I'll go and find out if I can get some potions
Yeah, we should chip
and
in.
some holy water. Definitely holy water.
I have the cash to help pay for it. I didn't level, so
Okay. Potions are a little bit lean on the ground. Holy water you can buy from your church. 25 gold pieces per vial.
can we get you like a keg and
No,
like a
you
garden
cannot
sprayer?
get a keg.
Bandolier straps.
Keg and you take it out of the blessed vial, and it's not holy water anymore.
Bless the whole keg, damn it!
That doesn't work like that.
Let's see.
God
I'll
is
take
not a
eight,
can of Raid.
8 vials of holy water.
8 vials of holy water?
Sure.
That's a lot. That's.
I have
mean,
6
you
flasks
do
of oil.
you. I'm just saying, if you get hit with a crushing attack of some kind and you're wet all over, and it's neither blood nor fear pee, don't yell at the DM. I did let you know.
Okay.
Can you parcel them out to the party? Because anybody can throw them.
That's true. That's true. How much were they a piece again?
25 gold pieces.
25. So 200.
And refresh my memory. Did you guys have mounts, or were you just riding on the cart?
Just riding on the cart, I believe.
I've been riding on the cart and the mule.
I have a mule.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I am buying a horse with my treasure, though. So
Oh, okay. What type of horse?
a draft horse.
Oh God! Riding down the street on a Clydesdale.
Exactly.
Mungo hungry.
Oh, but if you just bought plate mail, right? Then yeah, you're going to need a big horse.
Mhm.
So a draft horse, folks, is are you buying barding or are you just buying normal tack?
I was just gonna buy normal tack, the harness, the saddle,
Okay.
saddlebags.
So let's see. Horse draft, 30 gold pieces. I mean, a heavy war horse is, a draft horse will bolter when frightened. A heavy war horse is like a Percheron or a Clydesdale, but it is specifically trained and you can make it attack things and it will do so gleefully, trampling and biting. So, but the difference is a factor of 10 in price.
Exactly. I just need transit.
Okay. Just
A lot of posting at the walk.
yeah.
Not everything's the Skyrim horse.
My knees hurt remembering doing that. I used to ride both English and Western.
That's a good
Okay.
point. Can I go ahead and purchase a riding horse?
Absolutely. I think that is 25 gold pieces for a medium riding horse.
Yeah, a light riding horse.
Yeah,
That's what it's showing here. 20.
Sure.
Whatever.
Yeah, not a problem.
Thank you.
Oh, we should all buy hawks. Just because.
Having one amongst the party wouldn't be bad, but
I just now I'm just thinking of the messenger hawk scene from Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Hmm.
It's a fun TV show, by the way.
it was
If
great.
you ever need inspiration to run an Asian themed all monk campaign, watch a little bit of Avatar. Alrighty. So, thus outfitted, are you returning to Castle Greyhawk?
Yes.
We can't have our weapons silvered, can we?
Uh,
I didn't see anything
Oh,
about. I saw
yeah.
like silvered arrows and stuff, but I didn't see anything.
arrows, yes, but not so much. I'll say arrows and daggers. Swords,
Yeah,
it
not
gets a
worried
little
about it.
unwieldy.
Nope, that's it.
Well, at the very least, what's a silver dagger run?
Dagger, let's see. Hang on a second. Oh, just rolled past it. So if we look, dagger and scabbard 2, the extra work to silver the blade, I'm going to say is going to set you back 10 gold pieces. So 12 gold for silver dagger.
Okay.
How about crossbow bolts, light crossbow bolts?
You mean just like crossbow bolts, not silvered?
Yes, silver.
Oh, silvered. Okay. Let's see.
Jiva's supposed to get fancy.
Well, we'll just do the standard. Let's see. We'll just do the standard. Let's see. A normal quarrel is a silver piece. So we'll call it a single silver arrow is a gold piece. So we'll say a gold piece for a single silver quarrel.
Okay. So
I'll buy some arrows.
you'll get 10 of those,
Okay.
and then I guess a score of just standard
All right.
He's also bought a horse, and so is Valoric.
Okay.
Saddlebags and everything.
I guess now I have to buy a horse. Everyone else buy a horse.
I have a mule.
Keep up with the Joneses.
Geenan's former life was a teamster, so he's like, I've got a cart. It works fine.
Somebody needs to drive it.
Yeah.
I did pick up some sacks, some extra oil, and some large iron spikes as well. So
Oil sounds good too. Yeah, buy some more oil.
well, that
Yeah,
way
I
the DM
picked up-
can't complain that we don't have sacks, and I can nail that stupid trapdoor shut.
Yeah.
I got a sack full of sacks too.
Indeed.
You know, what you call a stupid trapdoor, the orcs call a really effective home security system. So I don't want to hear about it.
It only worked once.
Yeah, it was really effective.
Not really. I got out of the pit.
But you went into the pit. That's the important part. You got to think like an orc on this, man.
I'm sorry.
Tell
Max,
them,
he's
audience,
above
you got to
6.
think like an orc on this. Get a
You
mule.
gotta
you
think
can bring
like
him
an
to the
orc
dungeon.
on this.
That's what an orc would say.
Don't we have a half orc in the party? Isn't the thief a half
Nope.
orc? No, he's a half orc.
That was the one that died with the.
Yes. All the characters are running together. Oh god.
No, that won't happen until the black dragon breathes acid on you and you'll just kind of run together.
Then we'll run together.
Literally.
Or you'll see it and then run together out of the swamp.
Collective fleeing, the best kind.
I think everybody's.
So is that where we want to stop for today then, guys? Question mark?
For the evening, yeah.
Unless you guys want to journey to Castle Greyhawk right now, or we can jump off next week. I mean, it's my stream, but it's your game. I will leave it up. I will leave it up to you guys, but we are at 10:30 Eastern Standard. Shall we pick it up next week, gentlemen?
Works for me.
Sounds like a
With
plan.
whatever.
Alrighty. Well, thank you to our audience. Thank you to everyone who jumped in for the long haul a while ago. We certainly appreciate that and has stayed watching. Thank you to our players. Thank you to our patrons. And I appreciate it all very much. I will be back tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we will be here with Tracy Lesh. And then Thursday, we will be with Servant of Shiloh of RPG Elite. He will be here. And we're just going to have a fun week. And then Friday night, we'll be back with some Let's Play Gamma World. Won't that be a lot of fun? So you guys have an absolutely wonderful evening. I have been your host, Bill Sylvie. These have been your adventurers, all of their names. And we'll see you then. Peace out, everyone.
See you later.
Good night, all.